What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about the German Grand Prix of 2016. So let's get straight away into it. Personally, I think it was another boring Grand Prix. I think it could have been a lot better, but once I saw Lewis Hamilton turn into turn 1 in the lead of the Grand Prix, I knew from then and there it was going to be a boring Grand Prix. So let's talk about the start. So Hamilton had a bad start as well as Nico, but Nico was even worse in the second phase of the start. But Hamilton got away nicely up into turn 1 and overtook really everyone, and Hamilton had the lead from lap 1 to the really end of the race. So yeah, it's pretty much one of those races. Nico Rosberg dropped from first down to 4th, I think it was, or 3rd. Max Verstappen was 2nd, Daniel Ricciardo 3rd, and was Ricciardo's 100th Grand Prix. So Ricciardo had a lot to do. Maybe was potentially trying to get a podium. I don't know if that was the main aim, but he would have loved to, and obviously he did. So really, it wasn't a good race. I'm telling you now, it was pretty boring, to be honest with you. Hamilton led, obviously, like I've said, and he led start to finish, and practically Hamilton controlled the race, which made it really boring. And this is a personal opinion. I feel like when Rosberg's got the lead, Hamilton's always there to try and take him for the taking. When Hamilton's got the lead, Rosberg doesn't do that. So that's my personal opinion between both Mercedes drivers. But yeah, now Hamilton's increased the points lead compared to Nico Rosberg. And yeah, so Rosberg got a lot of work to do going into the next Grand Prix, but we are heading into the summer break, so 3 or 4 weeks or 3.5 weeks to prepare themselves for the upcoming half season in 2016. So half season left, and we'll see what Mercedes and Nico Rosberg can do. Can they even challenge Hamilton? Hamilton was 43 points behind Rosberg after the first few races, and now he's made a massive comeback. So anything can happen in Formula 1, like we said, but yeah, and I feel like F1's going to be way more entertaining than it is. I felt like, because I was a big fan of Formula 1, like for me to say it was boring, it just felt like the Sebastian Vettel days where like the start is what counts type thing. So, I think F1's got a lot of work to do going into 2017, because at the moment it's pretty boring Grand Prix racing, personally. But yeah, so let's talk about, so we talked about Mercedes really, Rosberg finishing P4. So it wasn't a good day at all for him, like he quoted, and I quote Nico Rosberg, crap race. Hamilton saying, he obviously had a good race. And then, yeah, so let's talk about Red Bull. So Daniel Ricciardo's 100th Grand Prix, and he came 2nd. He done the drinking from the shoe thing, which is an Australian thing. It was really awesome to see Daniel Ricciardo on the podium up into P2. Got some good points for the team, and his fight with, he couldn't really challenge Hamilton, but he had a little go with Nico Rosberg and his teammate Max Verstappen. But yeah, so it was good to see that, and Nico and Verstappen couldn't really challenge him by the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, so very good race for Daniel Ricciardo and for Red Bull, and his teammate Max Verstappen finished in P3. It was great to see Verstappen back on the podium. I feel like Verstappen's growing a lot of fans, has got a really big fan base at the moment. And Verstappen really pushing the car, and I feel positive for Red Bull going into the second half of the season. Who knows, like Red Bull are the type of team that if they look really poor at the beginning of the season, they really make a comeback in the second half of the season, and you never know, could they be going for the championship? It is possible if they work really hard, but the way it's going at the moment, freaking Mercedes is so far ahead, which is so annoying. But yeah, so really I think we're away for 2017 for a real challenge between all the teams, and yeah. So let's talk about Ferrari now. And Ferrari it wasn't the best race Ferraris have had, but it was a clean race where Vettel finished 5th, Raikkonen 6th. I think it was the best that they could get out of the car. I think Raikkonen was faster than Vettel all weekend, and I think he should have been in front of Sebastian, but Kimi Raikkonen wasn't, and he finished behind his teammate, which was a bit disappointing. McLaren improved, and all the other teams improved. I think Force India dropped a bit from where they should have finished. I think they could have finished higher. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't know if we're going to see Rio Haryanto going into the next Grand Prix, but it was literally that boring. There's not much to talk about, to be honest with you. Like, the race was controlled by Lewis Hamilton, and like, yeah, like there was nothing really to talk about. Like, just that Nico Rosberg was struggling to try and catch to try and take Verstappen and Ricciardo, and it was a fight between them three. But at the end of the day, it's true what I'm saying. No one really cares who finishes 2nd, 3rd, or 4th unless it's a really close championship fight. But at the end of the day, everyone remembers who finishes first. Now, everyone remembers, Hamilton finished first. No one remembered who finished 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. You know what I mean? So if it's a close championship fight, different story. But if the guy's constantly winning, no one really cares who's finishing second, third, or fourth. Even if the racing is really good behind, like it was in Hungary between the Red Bulls and the Ferraris, like no one cares. Everyone wants to see the race win go between like 4 or 5 drivers. And my hopes for 2017 would be that we get a full 3-way fight between Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari. That'd be really awesome, and hopefully we can get some other teams trying to challenge for the podium to mix up like Williams or Force India and maybe even Toro Rosso. So we don't know, and I hope to see Renault actually do well as well. I'll probably talk about driver lineups in the near future, but at the moment I think Renault have a lot of improvement to do. They did bring an update into the German Grand Prix. And also Mick Schumacher was at the Grand Prix of Germany, which was awesome to see him there throughout the paddock and throughout the race weekend. But all in all, it was an alright weekend. I think the race was boring like the Hungarian Grand Prix, but it was a decent weekend all in all. The qualifying session was good, and Rosberg got pole friggin' by with an extra kilo of fuel on board. So it was crazy from Nico Rosberg's pole position lap. It was all good up until Saturday, and then Sunday really ruined. I don't know, it just went downhill from there. So I think a lot of work from Nico Rosberg has to be done. And with the Manor seat, I don't know who will take it. If Harry Anson doesn't get the funding by the end of the 4 weeks, I think that we're either going to see Ocon in there, or I'm not too sure who the other person could be. But we'll see Wehrlein in the car, obviously, for sure, because Wehrlein is such a talented driver. And honestly, the person I would love to see have a drive in the Manor for the half a season, honestly, it would be Mick Schumacher. That would be a dream to see. See how he goes in a Formula 1 car. Will he be in it? I'm not too sure. He's not one of the favourites. And also Van Dorn could be in the car. I don't know, honestly, if Van Dorn would be. Van Dorn doesn't really have a financial background, so it's hard for him to get $7 million unless Honda pays for that. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Will he be? Who knows? We'll have to find out. Maybe Harry Anton will keep the seat. So, yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much the wrap up of the German Grand Prix race review. Sorry that it took a bit longer to come out, but yeah. And plus, there wasn't really much to talk about in this review because the weekend itself was alright, but like I said, the rest was pretty boring, actually very boring. And I think Formula 1's got to fix that a lot. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. There won't be an F1 weekend wrap up or weekend news for the next 4 weeks, but for your daily Formula 1 motorsport news, please subscribe. Monday to Friday, you will get weekly Formula 1 news, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe what you thought about the race, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.